From meticulously planned government operations to chaotic acts of terrorism, hostage-taking has been a terrifying tool to force the hand of those in power. The innocent caught in the middle are often just bargaining chips, but their resilience can be powerful. Tonight we're diving into 10 hostage situations that shocked the world. These stories remind us how fragile peace is and the human cost of conflict. We'll retrace the steps that led to these crises and their lasting impact. It was a diplomatic nightmare that played out on the world stage for 444 days. On November 4th, 1979, Iranian students stormed the US Embassy in Tehran, taking 52 American diplomats and citizens hostage. The crisis exposed deep-seated animosity between the US and Iran, defining their relations for decades. Entebbe, Uganda, July 4, 1976. Air France Flight 139 from Tel Aviv to Paris is hijacked and diverted to Entebbe Airport. Israeli intelligence raced to plan Operation Thunderbolt, one of the most daring rescue missions in history. The raid freed over 100 hostages but cost the life of mission commander Yonatan Netanyahu. The 1980s saw Lebanon become a hotbed of geopolitical tension, with Westerners, particularly Americans, becoming prime targets for kidnapping. These kidnappings were about wielding influence and punishing perceived enemies. The crisis cast a long shadow over Lebanon and underscored the dangers of the region's volatile politics. The world watched in horror as the nightmare unfolded in Beslan, Russia on September 1, 2004. Over 1,100 people, including more than 700 children, were taken hostage by Chechen separatists. The siege ended in a bloodbath with over 330 people, many of them children, dead. On October 23, 2002, Chechen rebels stormed the Dubrovka Theatre in Moscow, taking over 850 hostages. Russian special forces pumped an unknown gas into the theatre before storming the building. The raid ended the siege, but the gas resulted in the deaths of over 120 hostages. The Iran-Contra affair involved secret arms deals in the mid-1980s that rocked the Reagan administration. The US secretly sold weapons to Iran in exchange for the release of American hostages held by Hezbollah. The affair became a major political scandal, raising serious questions about the Reagan administration's foreign policy. The rise of ISIS brought a horrifying new chapter in the use of hostage-taking as a weapon of terror. In 2014, ISIS released gruesome propaganda videos showing the brutal executions of Western hostages. The ISIS hostage crisis forced difficult decisions on how to combat an organization with complete disregard for human life. On December 17, 1996, members of the Tupac Amaru revolutionary movement stormed the Japanese ambassador's residence in Lima, Peru, taking over 400 people hostage. The standoff lasted over 4 months, pushing Peru to a political crisis. On April 22, 1997, Peruvian commandos stormed the residence, rescuing all but one of the hostages. The coordinated terrorist attacks that ripped through Mumbai in November 2008 left the world reeling. For 3 days, terrorists from the Lashkar-e-Taiba group unleashed violence across India's financial capital. The Mumbai attacks marked a turning point in the global fight against terrorism, exposing the vulnerability of even the most heavily guarded cities. In January 2013, Islamist militants stormed the In Amenas gas facility in Algeria, taking hundreds of workers hostage. The attack highlighted the growing terrorism threat in North Africa. The siege ended in a dramatic assault, with Algerian forces storming the facility, resulting in dozens of hostages killed. Tonight, we've revisited some of the most harrowing hostage situations in history. These stories remind us of the human cost of conflict and the resilience of the human spirit. It's a reminder to stay informed and work towards a future where these events are history.